Hey, 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 hey. What's going on, family? Man, y'all up in here. Talk my country talk. Although I'm from the city, but I know how to do it because I hang around country people. But anyway, what's going on, guys? What's going on? Glad to have y'all here. Glad to have y'all here. See, Lonnie woke up, says hello, back again for another one. All right, glad to hear. Drea B, what's going on? Good to see you. I seek truth and justice. What's happening? What's happening? Alethea Gibson, hello, hello. How are you? Fort Law is in the house. Good to see you. Maggie DeShazor is in the house. What's going on, family? Good to see you. D. Brooks is here. What's happening? What's happening? All right. Good to see all you guys. All right. I Connect, man. Hotep, what's up? What's up? Cannabis Maximus. Ruben, what's happening? Dulce Maria. Good to see you. Good to see you. And the Dark Goddess is in the house. Did we get that taken care of, Dark Goddess? Dark Goddess was having some computer issues or some few issues here earlier today. So looks like she's back on track. Oh, no, you had to get another account, didn't you? All right. All right. Make sure this is this my same Dark Goddess? Is this my moderator, Dark Goddess? See if it is. We can take care of you. We can take care of you. All right. All right. What's up? What's up? Toes, man. Let's see. It said Toes Lam 10. Hello. And Samira Monet. Hello. Hello. Tanika Adams. Michael Peaks. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. King Man. Love Flow. All right, Dark Goddess. I got you. I got you. All right. Let's see here. Let me see if I can. Let me see. There we go. All right, Dark Goddess. I got you. You up as moderator again, Dark Goddess. I think I should have added you there. So I got you. I think I got you added. All right. Yeah, Dark Goddess was having some issues. So we got you. We got you, Dark Goddess. All right. All right, all right. Let's see who we got. Who we got. And there's my daughter, Vo Vibes, is in the house. What's going on? Eugene Dorsey. All right, guys. Look like y'all up in here in full effect. Good to see everybody. I'm going to get it going tonight. So I wanted to hit a specific topic. And that topic tonight is how to rid yourself of the permanent guilt complex and the shame of original sin. All right. And Cannabis Maximus starts right off with 11:11 priming that pump. All right. Way to prime it, brother. Way to prime it. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right. So 11:11 says high positive and healing vibrations, love and light. Yes, yes, yes. All right. And Miss M is here. What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So my name is Reginald Q A. I'm the founder of Kemetic Centered Living, and I help those that have left Christianity remove negative Christian programming so that they can live life boldly, authentically, unapologetically, and on their terms without guilt and shame. Okay. And, I wanted to address this topic tonight too, guys, because I know a lot of people that they feel like when they are woke or when they finally wake up to what Christianity has been, on some level, that at that point it's like, oh, I've arrived. Okay. And I want to say that essentially is the first awakening. Okay. Because when you're talking about you're practicing these ideas and you're practicing, and understanding the significance of your Christ or becoming a Christ, you'll understand that your awakening, you have multiple awakenings. Okay. You can have different awakenings in different aspects of your life. Okay. So you don't just come to this realization and then you've arrived and everything is okay. No, because once you come to that realization, there's going to be a lot of other things that are going to start happening in your life. There's going to be things like maybe your family find out that you don't believe anymore. Well, you're going to have to deal with your Christian family at that point, and you're going to have some hardships with that. I can tell you, anybody that has done this, that has a family, that deals with family, you're going to go through some stuff. And at first you might be going through that stage of the anger. You're mad because you're feeling like you were duped, and you want to go and beat everybody over the head with this knowledge and information. You're going to create some tension. It happens. I will advise, because I've been through that, I've dealt with it. I would advise you, don't do it. Okay. Just from my own experience, it does not work. It is not going to be helpful. Okay. So that's what I would say. But one of these things that we don't always recognize, and when we do the awakening, is that we still hold on to a lot of the Christian programming. Okay. And I know that I've said before that a lot of times people will leave Christianity and bring everything that they were in Christianity to what they think is Kemetic spirituality. And they're doing nothing but being religious. All they did was just switched a few little words, but they haven't changed anything about themselves. And that's the thing that you have to understand, is that programming does not just go away overnight. So one of those is that we're going to talk about tonight is the idea of dealing with the guilt and shame from Christianity and how it might affect you. Okay. So first step is we got to understand what guilt is. Okay. And guilt is generally about something that you've done. Okay. It's something about feeling that you've done something wrong. Okay. Your behavior. Okay. It is wrong. Okay. So some of those symptoms of feeling guilt and some of the most negatives are to evaluate yourself negatively. So anyone that has ever been Christian, okay, and Miss M gave $5. Thank you, Miss M. Definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate it. So anyone that has ever been Christian is familiar with the negative mantras like, I'm unworthy, oh, I'm nothing without God. Oh, I'm a wretch. That's just me. I'm a wretch. These are nothing but negative affirmations. Okay. So all these things are kind of tied into the feelings of guilt. Okay. Now, on the other hand, shame refers to something about yourself as a person, or your character is something unacceptable. Okay. So when who you are as a person and who you believe yourself to be is unacceptable, that's what shame is about. Okay. So it's feeling ashamed of who you are as a person. Okay. Or just feeling inappropriate to life, maybe. Okay. So what are some of the feelings of shame that you might go through? And this is just a few, guys. So there's a whole laundry list of stuff that people deal with, but these are what I think might be some of the major ones. So feeling used, or feeling sensitive about stuff, feeling unappreciated, feeling rejected. Okay, being worried about what others might think about you, worrying that you aren't treated with respect, feeling like others take advantage of you, not sharing your thoughts or feelings because you're afraid and embarrassed to do so. Okay, you're afraid and embarrassed to do so because, now a smart person wouldn't have a question like that, or well, I don't want to divulge that I've been through this because, man, people are going to look at me funny, So those kind of things. So those are just a few of the symptoms of shame that you deal with as you're going through unlearning these Christian ideas, or you might still be dealing with those Christian ideas. Okay. So, but what you deal with in Christianity is called a guilt complex. All right. So a guilt complex refers to a persistent belief that you've done something wrong or that you will do something wrong. Okay. Which puts people into just being anxious all the time. I mean, it's like you can't even freaking enjoy life because you might enjoy it too much and you might sin. Okay. Not that you have done anything wrong, but just that the possibility is that you're going to do something wrong. And there's even the possibility if you're having too much fun, that's wrong. Okay. So anybody that has ever been through Christianity understands those feelings. Anybody who's truly tried to live the Christian way understands that feeling of just that anxiety of just feeling like, something ain't right, or I'm not doing something right, whatever it might be. Okay. So that's it. So when you accept the Christian doctrines of original sin and total depravity, now most of us have heard of original sin, but we might not have heard of the idea of total depravity. But those two doctrines are closely intertwined, and I'll go over those, but they'll automatically plunge you into states of feeling guilty or shameful. Okay. So here's the doctrine of original sin. Okay. And this is from www.theopedia.com/original/sin or -sin. Okay. So if you want to look this up. So the doctrine of original sin states that the doctrine that the human nature is morally and ethically corrupt. Now listen to this. Human nature is morally and ethically corrupt. Okay? And it's corrupt because of the disobedience of humanity's first parents. Who were the first parents? Adam and Eve. Okay? This is closely tied to the idea of the fall of man. In other words, Eve supposedly gave Adam some fruit and Adam ate it, and that was a sin because now they've eaten from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Only in Christianity is where stupidity is put up on a pedestal as a higher level of spirituality. The more stupid you are, the more faith you have, the higher level of your spirituality. In other words, just put on blinders and accept what we told you. Okay, that's where this idea comes from original sin. Okay, total depravity is another one that's closely tied to it, and it's closely connected to original sin. And it states that because mankind's parents sinned, that all of their descendants, think about this, because your parents sinned, everybody else born into the world is morally corrupt, enslaved to sin, and apart from the grace of God with an inability to turn to Christ in faith. In other words, let's put this, using this as an analogy. Let's say your mother and father committed a crime before you were born. Okay? Somehow you got born, okay, from three sons. Three sons populated the earth. Okay, no women around, mind you, but three sons. Okay, but that's another topic. Okay, but somehow you were born, and as soon as you're born, you're going to go to jail for the crime that your parents committed. Is that logical? Is there anything logical about that? Are we more compassionate than God? God would make all of us sinners at birth? How logical is that? It's crazy. It's anyway, like I said. So in other words, that's total depravity. So both of them basically say that you're a sinner from birth and you're morally corrupt, just automatically out of the box. Okay. So that means that anything you do moving forward, you have to put in the context of your morally corrupt nature. Okay. You already out the box have to look at yourself as something defiled and something wrong. Okay. Automatically. Okay. Automatically, that puts you in the context of being ashamed of who you are. And then anything that you do that might have been not the best behavior, you automatically say, oh, yeah, well, that's because of my morally corrupt human nature. Okay. You already put yourself in a context, in a negative context of being. Okay? It's not cool. It's not good. Okay? So with the doctrines of original anything sinful, a guilt complex will make you think because of your nature, you will most likely do something sinful. It's a vicious circle and a vicious cycle, okay, that we all live through, or if you've been Christian, that you live through, okay? Because of the guilt complex, you simply feel negative about what you do or might do, which brings on the feelings of shame about who you are. Guilt and shame are intertwined in this way, okay? If you were Christian and accepted these beliefs for any amount of time, you probably are walking around with a guilt complex and don't even realize it, okay? For example, with the guilt complex, you can have a sexual thought about a person and immediately feel guilty about it. In other words, you can have a fantasy about being with somebody sexually, okay? Now, immediately when you have that, it says because you're, as a Christian, you're not supposed to have sexual thoughts, okay? You're human, but you're not supposed to have, that's wrong. And when you have these sexual and dirty thoughts, you're a bad person, which of course makes you feel bad, okay? Because in the context of Christianity, the thought is the same as doing the deed. Okay? You've already sinned just by thinking it. Like, damn, I mean, you can't even escape that. Okay? So, if you constantly feel some kind of negative way about yourself, you will lower your expectations, okay, about anything in your life. Shannon Canzelia, thank you. Gave $10. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. So another example is to say, let's just say you're having you're having trouble paying your bills. Okay. And you need to find a way out of this hole that you're in. You had a thought about starting a business before because you wanted to make some more money. Okay. That you might have even wanted to get rich. But deep down, you feel it's wrong to covet having more. Okay. You don't want to, you feel conflicted because you need more money, but you're not supposed to want more because, as the Bible says, it's easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than for a rich man or woman to get into heaven. Okay. Tanika Adams gave $4.99, says this information is priceless. Thank you, Tanika. I appreciate that feedback. Thank you very much. Says, so anytime that you think about wanting more, you're automatically put into a conflict because wanting more means that you're trying to get more, trying to have more, and to covet worldly things is a sin. It's not cool. Okay, you're not supposed to want to be abundant. No matter that the preacher and everybody else is driving around in their Mercedes and Cadillacs. Back in my day, it was Cadillacs, That was a long day. Okay, a long time ago. But anyway, but you're not supposed to want to be rich and abundant. Why the hell not? Okay? Because you're taught that you should not be. But that's not what the universe is about. So what you may not realize is that you find more comfort in struggling to pay your bills than finding new ways to make money. And it keeps you having a broke mentality. In both these cases, you feel guilty, and I'm talking about the sex case and the money case. You feel guilty for even having thoughts of sex or wanting more money. Why? Because as a Christian, a thought is the same as the deed, as I had said earlier. See, Judy Smith Randall gave 222. Thank you, sister. Says, yes, yes. This info is awesome. Thank you, Teach. Thank you for that feedback, Judy. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. So, are you guys grasping the programming here? Are you understanding this underlying programming? All right. Crystal Turner gave 19.99. Thank you very much, Crystal. Says, so what many brothers and sisters still do is when it comes to reconciling their conflicts about money, is they begin to push forward with the idea that being broke is somehow more spiritual. Okay. They look down their noses at people who make money. All right. As something is wrong, morally wrong with people who are well off. Okay. In other words, if you're rich, you probably had to do something wrong in order to get the money. But being broke, you probably you're just living right because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Think about it. Okay. Now, you cannot think in broke ways. Okay. And this goes back to a principle that I've talked about, priming the pump by thinking lack and then expect wealth. Because when you're thinking in broke ways, you are literally priming the pump for lack. Okay? I've talked about this principle of priming the pump before. What you're doing is priming the pump for the universe to send you broke experiences and lack. When you think about it being something of a higher level of spirituality to be broke, or you think it's wrong to be well off. Okay. So to live in fear of maybe getting evicted is supposedly some higher level of spirituality. So you don't even try to like make more money. Okay. Or you have a self-esteem issue from beating yourself down about thinking, I am a wretch. I am nothing without God. I can do nothing without God, that you don't even try to make more money. You don't even think that the idea to start a business, that you have a good idea because, hell, you thought about it. And because you thought about it, surely somebody else must have thought about it. And if they thought about it and they didn't do it, then obviously it's not a good idea. So forget it. Y'all understand the logic that I'm going through here? How all these feelings of beating you down and feeling guilty, or feeling like you're not supposed to have, how it all kind of ties in. It's just different layers. I call it, it's like being like an onion. There are just so many layers that are tied to these beliefs that we don't even think about it. And we think once we say that we're not Christian anymore, that boom, we're awake and all of the other shit goes away. It doesn't. I promise you it doesn't. Okay? I know from experience that it doesn't. Ruben gave $20. Thank you, Brother Ruben. I appreciate it. So my family is always coming through, man. Always coming through. Appreciate you guys so much. So these beliefs do not simply just remove themselves. You don't just wake up one day and you're over it. It doesn't happen that way. So here's what you have to do, just a couple of steps that you have to do to get rid of these ideas, okay? First, it takes becoming aware of the beliefs and then how they affect you on a daily basis. So that's what I'm giving you here tonight. I'm making you aware that you have to pay attention to what you believe, okay? There are most likely many layers, and I talked about this being an onion. There are most likely many layers you'll have to discover to change your vibration to abundance. And that's really what I'm talking about, is you're literally changing your thinking and your beliefs will change your vibration, because that is a way of being. At essence, I'm talking about your vibration. Okay. Then you must begin the work of reorienting your thinking to a different paradigm in order to change your vibration. You must have a different framework, okay, and a different way, because Christianity is a framework in which you put the context of all your beliefs and all your thoughts. Just like a picture frame does for a picture, it focuses you on what's in the frame. Okay. And that's what Christianity is. That's what any belief system is. It's a framework, and it focuses your beliefs into a certain way of being and a certain way of thinking. And I said before, Christianity and Kemetic spirituality are both ways of life. But tell me, does living in fear, does feeling guilt and shame about who you are as a human being, does that improve your life in any way? Because that's what you deal with every day through living the Christian lifestyle. From experience, I'm talking about here, guys. I know what that feeling is like. Okay. So where Christianity is definitely a way of life, Kemetic spirituality improves your life. Okay. Because it gives you a framework where everything works synergistically and works together. Whereas in Christianity, you're in constant conflict about something, about being human, about being spiritual. It automatically puts you at odds about being human with spirituality. Okay. Automatically. All right. So why is this important? Because the way you think is what's being broadcast to the universe and being reflected back to you as your life of guilt and lack. Okay. You thought just because you awoke that you're over Christianity, but you're not. I promise you. But the truth is that you will carry the indoctrination within you for many years. And again, I know this from experience. The money issues, especially for well, I'll say especially for a man, because I am that. The money issues for men, dude, it ties around dating. The lack of money will tie around love, because for the average person, and I know I felt like this myself, is that without money I could have no love. No woman is going to love somebody that's broke. And ladies, please understand, I'm not putting anyone in the context of being a gold digger. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that for a man, his manhood is tied to his ability to provide. And if he's not the breadwinner, then he's really not much of a man. Okay? So that's another layer. Can a man even go on a date and leave his checkbook or leave his wallet at home? Okay? No. Okay? So if you're a man and you're broke, then that's another layer that's added on top of this. And you're struggling with that. Okay? You want to do better, but you're struggling with these ideas. Okay? Michael Peaks gave $20. Thank you, brother. He says that shit takes time. I call it spiriligion. Still find myself there from time to time, and recognition of it is key. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. It's definitely a key. Okay. So you may not even tie the concepts of guilt and shame to why you struggle financially, or why you can't get moving on your goal of starting your own business or getting a new job to make more money. Okay. When you believe you're a sinner and unworthy of having good in your life, it impacts everything you think about that could make your life better. Most of us that have been Christian believe expressing being unworthy is about being humble. That's crap. Putting yourself down is not being humble. And the reason why Christianity is taught that is because they thought taught that pride was one of the 7 deadly sins. Okay. Now, this is not biblical, but what they were teaching is that if you felt prideful, then that means that you wouldn't need God. Okay. Well, you might not need that God out there. But from a Kemetic perspective, you are God in human form, or you are a God in training in human form. Okay. You're not trying to please some God out there. You're trying to realize the highest vision of yourself as God in human form. Okay. That's the difference. Now, in reality, the guilt undercuts your self-confidence and sends a signal to the universe to reflect your being unworthy to have abundance or a good mate for a relationship and any other area of your life. So if you're effectively programmed to think negative and therefore reap negative in your life, okay, that's what happens when you accept these guilt trips, okay, that Christianity puts on you. All right. So let me make this clear, okay, and succinct. Guilt is about wrong actions, okay? You doing something wrong or possibly doing something wrong. Excuse me. While shame is being a feeling that you're wrong as a person, as a human being. So guilt is about your actions and shame is about your being, okay? About who you are. The doctrines of original sin affect your whole being on many different levels because they immediately hand you guilt without the ability to reconcile it. It's anti-human. Okay. Holding on to the guilt about being abundant and having the ability to enjoy your life will put you at odds with achieving it. Unless you examine why you believe what you believe, you will be stuck because you have no way to get out of a thought process that keeps you trapped. You have to be able to examine why you believe what you believe. Okay. That's a higher level of thinking, guys. Okay. When you're able to step back and examine why you believe something, when you do that, it'll move you to a whole nother track. Okay. You're able to look at yourself in a different way. Okay. And I teach those techniques in the African Mind Rewire. So we talk about that. So Kemetic spirituality is designed to help you create your life on terms without guilt or shame. Okay. Create your life on your terms. You can gain the tools to examine your mind and the processes to manifest your life that you want through my class, the African Mind Rewire. You can click on the link in the chat box and get more information and sign up. Okay, if you think this is something for you. It's not for everybody, okay? And I get that. This is not for everybody. If you try to sign up later and the class is not open at that time, you can always add yourself through your email to the waiting list, okay? Now, if you have questions about the topic, Kemetic spirituality or metaphysics, you can ask them now. If I know the answer, I'll help you as best as I can. If I don't know the answer, I'll say I don't know. Okay? So that's it. So guilt and shame. So how can you get over the ideas of dealing with guilt and shame? Okay? All right. So let's see. Greg Scott says, "How dare you enjoy a little life?" I know that's right. For real. Okay. So yeah, so that's it, guys. I mean, it's you have to be able to step back and look at how you think and why you think what you think. If you don't have the ability to do that, guys, you're going to be trapped because you're in a loop to where you're just reacting to stuff. Okay. And you can never break that loop if you can't examine why you're reacting. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. All right. Well, if y'all got any questions, we can do it. Love Flow, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Love Flow said this is awesome truth. So I appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right. Let's see. Rather Creator, you snuck in there. What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. Let's see. Has anyone been researching the new zodiac sign? I hadn't heard about that one, Michael Peaks. So usually the old ancient stuff is pretty exact. Let's see. Beast Mode Jones says it's obvious the concept of Christ existed long before Jesus even existed. But how can you be 100% sure that a man, Jesus Yeshua, didn't exist? Many men have reached high levels on consciousness. Beast Mode, because if you check into the ancient Kemetic teachings and everything that they do, every characteristic of Jesus was within the concept of Heru, okay, or Horus. These concepts were not physical beings. They were metaphorical, allegorical, and mythical concepts that had deeper universal meaning. Once you understand what these ideas were trying to teach, then you know with certainty that the person that they named Jesus didn't exist. You can also find out that everything that they tell you about Jesus was backdated. And what do I mean by being backdated? Jesus was not deemed the Son of God, okay? The physical person was not deemed the Son of God until the Council of Nicaea in 324 CE or 325. I always get those years off. 325 CE, okay? That was 325 years after Jesus supposedly lived. Why does that matter? Well, let's think about this. Beast Mode just asked me a question because he's saying there's no way for you really to know that Jesus didn't exist. So there could always be a question. Well, you're saying that he didn't exist, but how can you really know that? Okay. So in other words, if you allow, nobody could ever go back and check to make sure. Okay. Now, for almost 2,000 years, I say for what, 1,800 years, this was the truth. Nobody could, because Christianity did everything they could to destroy any records that could link a historical Jesus back to ancient Egypt and the mythology. They tried to destroy everything. Okay. But what happened was the discovery of the Rosetta Stone. When the Rosetta Stone was discovered by French Egyptologist Champollion in 1799, everything about Christianity then became an open book because you could go and you can read the hieroglyphs that are on the walls in ancient Egypt. You could then go and decipher the mythology, the glyphs, and all that stuff that were in ancient Egypt. So before then, before 1799, to effectively fact check Christianity was non-existent. After 1799, things started to come out. But guess what? Christians have suppressed, and still do to this day, they suppress this knowledge. Because how many Christians work at a news station? And I'm talking about here in the United States specifically right now. But in the United States, how many Christians work at a news station? Probably 90% of the people that work at a news outlet is going to be Christian. And what are Christians taught to do? To believe. Okay. Now, somebody look up the word believe and tell me what the definition of it is. Okay. All you have to do is believe. Okay. And you are told to have faith. And if you don't have faith, then you have to question your belief. And if you question your belief, then you really probably are not a very good Christian. So it puts you in this circular logic. Okay. So you are not going to allow somebody to get in front of you with information that might change your beliefs about something. So newspapers, magazines, book publishers, there's a whole system set up to make sure that the idea that Jesus was a historical person stays in front of us. Any information that is let out into the public will tell you on some level that Jesus must have existed. Must have existed. Now, mind you, there is not one place that is the main places that Jesus supposedly visited and all of that. None of those places exist. They have no archaeological evidence to back them up whatsoever. None. Not one iota. If you take away the Bible, because what you have now is everybody has built all of this knowledge and information that comes right back to the Bible. Take away the Bible and prove that Jesus existed. Take away anybody that has used any information in the Bible to say that Jesus has existed. When you take away the Bible, the Jesus Christ that we know will disappear. But the characteristics of this supposed person will be found in Horus, Osiris, the Virgin Mary, of Isis, Nephthys, all of that. Okay. You can find scripture that has hidden references to these Egyptian netters. Okay. So I went a long way to answer your question, Beast Mode, but there's a lot of evidence that is out there that I'm telling you, once you get into it, you don't have any doubt that Jesus never existed. But what I try to do is I don't try to just like bust that that belief. What I try to do is give people the ancient ideas or what the ancient teachings were about. Okay. All right. So Ava 7163 gave 1111. Thank you, Ava. Lady Deidre gave $10. Thank you, Lady Deidre. I appreciate you. Self-love, Muse Cherish. Thank you very much. Says, I feel a new sense of empowerment since joining KCL. I'm decolonizing my mind, body, and soul, reclaiming my energy and sovereignty. Thank you, sister. I definitely appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you saying that. And she gave $9.99. So that's family again, giving. Thank you very much. But yeah, to me it's spiritual malpractice what people do to destroy somebody's beliefs and then have nothing that you want to give them to in place to uplift them. Because on some level, Christianity has worked for Black people, and I get it, because in times of slavery, it kept us sane, at least believing that we were going to get some reward. Our ancestors believing they were going to get some reward when they died, because they definitely knew they were in hell on earth. Okay. So on that level, it kept us sane. But now it's time for a new awakening. It's time for a new consciousness, because you can see anywhere around the world where there is a concentration of Black people, and I'm talking from my experience as a Black man. This knowledge is for anybody and everybody, but it comes through my experience, and that's what I'm talking about. But you look around anywhere in the world, and you'll see Black people and their communities pretty much they are not self-sustaining economically. Okay, and to me, that's my measure of progress, is that we can economically take care of ourselves. We are economically abundant. All right. And in our communities, there are more churches on street corners than there are businesses owned by Black people in the majority of these communities. Now, there are exceptions, of course, but I'm not talking about the exception right now. The rule is that there are 400 million Black people around the world that live in poverty that are Christians. 400 million. Okay? That's almost 500 million people living in poverty. The common denominator is their belief in Jesus. Now, I could go into a whole lot of psychological stuff with that, but that's the common denominator. Okay? Kim H says, thank you for this knowledge. You're most welcome, Kim. You're most welcome. Okay? So, so that's it. And that's the other part of this is for me, is until we can get beyond the belief in a white savior coming to correct everything, Black people are going to be in prison mentally, spiritually, and every other way. Okay? Because there's no one coming to save us. We're going to have to do it ourselves. Bottom line. Okay? And if we can't get beyond these beliefs that we're helpless, that we're nothing without God, okay? Until we can begin to realize our own ability to create, we're going to be trapped. We're going to stay trapped. Because most people think that the kingdom of God is out there somewhere, that you get to it when you die. But guys, that's not what the kingdom of God is, and that's not even where the Bible said it is. If you look in the King James Version of the Bible in Luke chapter 17, verse 20 through 21, it says the kingdom of God is within. But what is the kingdom of God? It says, the Bible says that John 10 and 34 says that you are a god, okay? A goddess, all right? In Genesis, it says that we are the image of God. What is that image? Because God is not a physical person. What is the image that we are like God? Right now, we're taught that God looks like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed dude with a beard and long flowing hair. Okay? That's the image that we've been given, a physical image. But in reality, the image that we are like is that we can enter into the kingdom and create just like God in our level of the world, in our level of earth. The kingdom is not out there, it's in here. Today we call it imagination. Because think about this and tell me if it's not true. There is nothing that mankind has created, that humankind, I want to say humankind, this is not just about men. There is nothing that humankind has created on this planet that was not first in our imagination. It had to leap from the virtual world of our imagination into our physical world. How does that happen? That's what I want to teach you in the Kemetic spirituality. How do you bring something from the virtual world of your mind, what we call the virtual world today? How do you make that leap from the virtual world into reality? Okay. If you're living in conflict, it becomes a barrier to something leaping. If you're living in conflict, you cannot be abundant. If you think it's wrong and you're unworthy, you automatically put yourself in conflict with it. And it becomes a barrier for it to leap into reality. Okay? We are taught, and most spiritual systems have taught us that reality, our reality, is an illusion. But we go, man, what do you mean it's an illusion? Because I can touch myself. Man, I can touch my phone is not an illusion. I can touch this stuff is real. Okay? But that's because we don't understand what they were really saying. They weren't saying that it's not real because our experience of this reality is very real. The illusion is that we are powerless over this reality. That's the illusion. You are powerful beyond belief. I'll say it again. You are powerful beyond belief. But you think that somebody racist or somebody white or somebody whatever has more power than you. That's why we go around every day mad at white people because they haven't changed their hearts and be nice to us. Because in our minds, deep down, what we're saying is, until I don't have the power to change you, until my Savior comes, I don't have the power to say to change you. So I need you to change so I can have a good life. That's ultimately what we're saying when we're mad at white people. We're mad at racist people for being racist. We're mad at the system for being the system that was put together by racism and white supremacy. When in reality, we have to find a way around it. It's supposed to be the catalyst to make us step into our godhood. That's what all of this stuff that we deal with does. But as long as we think like a victim, it will not happen. As long as we're waiting on white Jesus to get back to set everything straight, it won't happen. Plain and simple. See, Greg Scott gave $5. Says, thank you for recognizing the abundant, inseparable, inexhaustible, infinite energy flowing through our being. Absolutely, positively. Absolutely, positively. So, guys, that's what it's about. We have been sold a bill of goods that we are helpless, that we're powerless. But that's just not true. The Kemetic spiritual system and the way that they taught it puts us in a space of being empowered, not powerless. Not the way Christianity has done it. Christianity was supposed to be an entry into true spirituality, but it was corrupted a long time ago. A long time ago. So I don't want to get into the arguments and trying to beat up Christianity and beat it down. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I do have to contrast it to help you understand the difference between what living as a Christian has been and then what a Kemetic centered living does. Okay. So I have to contrast them. Okay. I've lived both of them. I will never, ever go back to Christianity. I can't. There's no way in hell. Okay? Never. So, anyway, man, I got off on a tangent there, didn't I? Woo-wee. But anyway, let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Melvin Reeves says it don't take that damn long to wake up. Well, Melvin, everybody's different. And this is the things that we got to understand too, because that brings up something else. If we are busy trying to wake them up out there, you're not woke. If your focus is on waking them up out there, you're not woke. Because this is, for me, this is how I look at this. If you don't take this knowledge and information, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm okay. I'm gonna sleep good tonight, tomorrow, and the next day. I am giving you the opportunity to examine this knowledge and see how it works for you. But whether or not you take it is totally and completely up to you. I am not going out into the streets and saying, man, you need to look at this. You need to listen to this knowledge. No, because that's not how people are going to wake up. And this is what you got to understand about how consciousness works, how ma'at works. Okay. When you change you within, it's like your individualized consciousness uploads that knowledge and experience up to the universal consciousness. You're at a certain level of vibration when that happens. Okay. You're always vibrating. But when you wake up, when you're awakened, it's at a certain level of vibration. You upload it in a sense. Somebody can, at that point, when they reach your level of vibration, they can download your experience and your wisdom that you gained through that experience. At that point, they can decide if it's going to change their life for them. Okay? It had nothing to do with what you said. People don't change by what you say. They change from who you are being. Your being is uploaded and somebody can download that same information into their being and their consciousness. That's how the world is going to be changed. Okay? I can talk all day long about how wonderful this knowledge is and what it can do for you. But until you reach the level that you can accept it and start to apply it, what I say don't matter. And I get that. It's not my job to change you. My job is to give you the information and to teach those who want it. That's my job. I don't care to change people. Okay? Not my job. My job is to educate. That's what I do. And it's up to you to take the information and use it for yourself. Okay? That's it, plain and simple. It's not your job to tell other people how to be. And if you're going around doing that, you are not woke. Your focus is on the wrong people. Because you got your finger turned out, pointing it at them, you're just missing the stuff that you need to change about you and the stuff that you need to work on. You can't remove the plank out of your eye when you're trying to stick a splinter in somebody else's. I think that's how that goes. I was close, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay? Y'all know what I'm talking about. So if you're going around trying to talk and you are bemoaning how other people are not woke, why don't they wake up? It's because you're still asleep, because they're reflecting you. Plain and simple. Wake yourself up. Become who you want everybody else to be. You become it. Once you reach that level, then your need to change them stops. If you're around people that you don't like to be around because of the way that they are, change being around them. You can't change them, but you can change your circumstance. Plain and simple. So that's how it works. That's how it works. It will not be your words that will change people. It will be your being that change people. Okay? So it's not about them. It's about you. It's about me. I'm working on me every day, guys. I'm still growing. Okay? My journey, part of my journey is helping and teaching. But I don't have it all figured out. Now, I've had my ass kicked in a lot of areas. I can help you through those. But where I'm going, it's still new for me. And I'm still trying to figure it out. But I use those principles to keep me on track. The principles that I teach, I use them every day. The principles that I teach, I've used them to get to the point to where I am now. I know they work. I have complete confidence in them. Okay. Well, no, complete confidence, most confidence. Because like I said, there are days that I have my days that I struggle with where I'm going. Okay. That's what's real. And no matter where you are, you will never get to that point where you go, I figured it all out. No, it doesn't happen like that. Because there's always new levels. There's always new experiences that you're going to be going through. Okay? Always. Always. All right. All right. Man, it's already that time. Good grief. Time flies fast. Time flies fast. Yeah. So absolutely, action speaks louder than words. Action speaks. Yes, forever expanding, Greg Scott, all the time. Right, Judy Smith. Apply, apply, apply. That's it. You have to learn to apply. You have to apply this knowledge for you. Not going around trying to beat everybody else up and telling them how they should live and how they should change. Because most likely, if you're doing that, is you the one that's got to change. Plain and simple truth. What is the difference from you doing beating people over the head with the Bible, telling them they need Jesus, and then beating them over the head with an ankh and telling them that they need Osiris? I don't know. Shit. What's the difference? You got a Bible or you got an ankh, but you're still beating people up. And you still the same miserable individual than after leaving Christianity than you were while you were in it. You're still the same miserable person. Hating the world. Hating everything about the world. Waking up every morning, hating getting up and going to work. Why is that? Because you haven't changed. When you change, you'll look at the world different. You'll focus on different things. You'll automatically be more positive. Because if you understand the principle, you focus on what you desire, not what you hate. Because both sides are going to be there. What you desire and what you hate is going to always be there. But which one do you choose? And that's what we call polarity. Which end of that pole do you choose? Which one do you choose to focus on? That's what it's about. Focus on what you love. Focus on what you desire rather than what you hate about other people. Because you can't change them, but you can change you. All right. All right, guys. It's about that time. So we're gonna everybody that gave tonight. Thank you again. I always appreciate your generosity, guys. My family, my KCL and an African Mind Rewire family. I'm telling you, I am so freaking proud of the people that are in this class, man. We have some dynamic, beautiful, amazing people that is in this class. And guys, I appreciate you so much. Man, our Zoom meetings are off the freaking chain. with the people that are in it and the conversations we have, it is fire. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So all of you guys that are rolling and riding with me, I thank you so much. And all you guys that y'all still, I mean, y'all pay me every month for my class and y'all still come and give to me, man. That is just, that's like so amazing for me. And I so appreciate you guys for that. I really do, you know? So it is amazing. So thank you so much, everybody. All right, guys. Well, until next week, you guys be strong. And I hope to see some of you new in the class. If not, I wish you well. Come back next week. We'll have another conversation. But we'll keep it moving. All right. All right, guys. Y'all have a good one.